Rob here from the Flanagan Homestead and East Fork Christmas Tree Farms. Today's video is about a visit to Holly Lane Christmas Tree Farm in Spokane, Washington. I did another video already on the growing of the trees and that, but this wonderful couple, Brian and Bridget, as I met them, I noticed that they put a lot of care into making the experience for their customers a great experience. And so this video is about the different things that how they set it up, how they treat their customers and whatnot. And spoiler alert, there was a full-length movie filmed on their farm. Okay, we have Brian and Bridget, the owners of the farm, right now on their swing. Let me step back a little bit so you can see the quite the swing set that could swing, and I'm going to zoom past them and you can see the rolling hills of Christmas trees. And they're telling me that this is a very popular spot during Christmas tree harvest. So what happens?
This is one of the spots where families love. They flock to it, they gravitate toward this area. We usually have a photographer out here who snaps pictures for a day or two. And the photos come out beautiful. So they're all over the nation. They get to send them to their loved ones and say, look what we did at Holly Lane Tree Farm. But I think the most amazing thing about the swing set is that it brings joy back into all kids. So it doesn't matter if you're 3 years old or 93 years old. When you hear people out here playing on the swing set and getting photos taken, it's just lifelong memories that they're going to have. And we get to be a part of that, so we feel very lucky to be a part of that.
And you mentioned that quite often when you take pictures there's snow on the ground.
Yes, yes. So if you envision a white blanket around everything, and the trees usually have snow all over them, it is a winter wonderland. And we usually open the day after Thanksgiving, so most of the holiday season there's absolutely snow on the ground, which is beautiful.
Okay, so that brings up an interesting point. So in my neck of the woods, it's not unusual to get snow, but we have a lot less snow, and it doesn't stick around very long. So it is unusual for me to sell trees with snow on the ground. Not never, but it is unusual. When you're selling Christmas trees, how often is snow on the ground?
So I would say it's about 85% of the time. And that's a really good point, Rob. I'm so glad you brought that up, because we tell all our families on our website, and this is a perfect time to share again, make sure you're dressed. You need boots, you need snow pants, because when you go out in the fields, you have 23 acres to walk through, and you actually kneel down and saw your own tree. So if you're wearing the right gear, you have the time of your life. You need a hat, you need gloves, hopefully waterproof gloves. And then you can stay out there all day. We have some families that are out there for hours. We have some that come back really quickly because it's too soon and they're wet and cold. So yeah, it's very, very important to wear the proper attire when you're at a Christmas tree farm. And I think almost unanimously, all Christmas tree farms make sure you have boots. You need good, strong boots when you're walking these fields. It's an agricultural event. There are holes, there are all kinds of different things out there. And every Christmas tree farmer does their very best to make it safe, but you are out there in nature.
So part of the photo shoot opportunity is we have a photographer come out here and they'll bring a truck,
big old Ford.
like a old 1950s truck, and people will take pictures on the truck. So the trees will be in the background, the swings will be in the background. And they'll just spend half an hour taking pictures. So it's a really good time for them.
Yeah. People love old trucks on farms.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. We have one, not intentionally, on the farm, probably just died there, and people like to take pictures of it. And then one of my good friends that has a pumpkin patch that has over 50,000 guests that come out every year.
Oh my goodness!
They bring in the old farm trucks, and people are always taking pictures.
How big is
All right, so this is your machine, your Kubota. You haul trees out with this, correct?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have two of them.
And then, do you ever hook a trailer on for more trees?
Yes, yeah,
okay.
we always put a trailer
Excellent.
on it.
So you were telling me a story about using this for Santa Claus, and just tell me about the story and the reaction of the...
So we have all throughout the year, we've got our neighbors, volunteers, and friends that come and help us with the farm. The farm is an absolute labor of love, and it takes a lot of work. And one of the things that we love is when we open, Santa Claus is here, and there's always complimentary hot cocoa for everybody who comes. We have a blazing fire outside and inside, so come on down and see the shop. And one of the things that I love to do is we've got Santa Claus, and you can do pictures with Santa, complimentary pictures, and I will put him in the Kubota if we ever have a little bit of time. Usually it's very, very busy, but if there's ever spare time, I will drive Santa around the fields. And when we come over the fields, the children are elated. They're so excited, and they run to come see Santa. And what's even more special for me is the look on the parents' faces. The parents just get as excited and tickled as do the children when they see Santa Claus coming down the fields. So that's one of the really special things I think about our farm.
Every farm, you need to do something to make your place special. Yeah. Make memories for the families.
Yeah.
So they talked about helping haul trees out. If you're used to looking at my farm, which where I live is sloped, but my farm is pretty flat, you'll notice there's a reason they might want a little bit of help getting the trees out. This is probably one of the steeper slopes that they drive up and down. But
yes,
if someone was to cut a tall tree out here, we've got mostly grands over here. Hauling this out themselves would be quite the ordeal. So
yes.
Brian and Bridget have a crew that come out here. They use the Kubota with trailers and load up some trees and get them up the hill. Yep.
And chains.
And chains. That's right. If you've got snow on the ground, you're probably going to need it.
We put chains on for pretty much the whole season. They had chains. Yeah. Both the Kubotas had chains on them, and you need it in a steep slope like this with a foot or two of snow. You got to have it. And we actually will. We have a snow plow for this as well, and we'll even plow down here. I'll push the snow on the main pathways, and it makes it easier for us to transport the trees.
Yeah, I was going to say, with 2 feet of snow, you're not doing that unless you do something to clear some snow, even with chains on.
Yep.
2 feet.
We're in a stand of mostly concolor trees. I don't have those in my area. But you have an interesting story about this stand of the trees, actually really close to where we're standing.
Yep, they did a film here called A Match Made at Christmas, Hallmark type movie. And this was the scene where they did the proposal.
Yeah.
The guy proposes to the lead character, and it was right here. They had set up a whole bunch of lights and a whole bunch of backdrop, and they put a bunch of fake snow down here, and they had lights running from the bottom of the field all the way up here, like Christmas lights, like
beautiful
tea lights.
Beautiful.
And so they show in that scene, they show the girl walking up the tea lights, and then she walks out here, and then the guy does his proposal to him, and then they have some snow come down.
Oh yeah.
So you see it snows as he's doing the proposal, and
it is very much a Hallmark movie.
Yes.
There is a proposal, a marriage, there's snow falling, and a kiss on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the way it works. And you know what? My wife and I fall for it every time.
Yep. So one of the things that's really important about our farm, I wish our daughter Keely was here because she is magnificent. She will greet the families that come, hundreds and hundreds of families. And one of the things she begins with is she welcomes them, lets them know that they're now part of our family, and then shares about the responsibility and the love and the care that goes into taking care of these trees. Because our family actually begins planting them every spring. And so you're standing by a little one right there, and we've got a little baby right here. And you can tell the families that came out did an excellent job when they cut these trees. So last December, somebody cut that tree down. They made sure it was definitely under 12 inches. And that family thought about what they wanted in their house and what the criteria was. So that family probably wanted a tree that was as gorgeous as this guy right here. Perfect height. Cut it down, drug it to the field, to the drive, and then we picked it up for them and shook it and baled and took care of all the things while they saw Santa Claus and had hot cocoa. But one of the things that my daughter Keely also tells family is that every foot of every tree out here represents 1 year of that tree's life, and the love that went into that tree from family, friends, volunteers, and some of our college students that come home and help over the summer take care of these trees. So tree farming is an absolute labor of love. All the farmers out there, my hat's off to you, because I know you're working 2 or 3 jobs while you're doing your tree farm and raising your children. And it is absolutely family endeavor. So remember, when you're out there on the tree farms, every foot of that tree represents 1 year of love from Mother Nature, from that farmer, and from that tree. And then it gets to end up in your house and make it absolutely beautiful and a magnificent and spectacular Christmas.
So I'm recording this in the summer, so obviously it is not decorated and festive for Christmas tree selling. But you could see they have what would be a wonderful patio benches and fire pit for their guests to sit around. Here's the barn. They have their wreath still up on the barn. And then going in there is their barn/shop, which they sell out of, which makes for a wonderful atmosphere for selling Christmas trees.
Yeah. Photo op is we have right there, we have a little sleigh that we pull out, and there's always snow right there, so we'll put the sleigh right there and people will sit on that and get photos in front of the sleigh. So that's a lot of fun for families to do that.
Write letters to Santa Claus, and they put it in this box right here. And then Santa Claus sits over there. There's a big white fur rug, and they get to sit with Santa, have pictures, tell them what they want. Usually tons of people in the shop, free hot cocoa bar right there. And then we've got local artists. We have a neighbor who makes soaps, engineer by day, local soap maker by night.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they get the cozy by the little pellet stove right here, the Loki stove. Get to relax and get nice and warm.
Okay, we're taking a quick view around their shop. I want to remind you that this is in the middle of the summer. They are not set up and decorated quite like they'd like to be on camera, but they're nice enough to let me look around anyway. So this is where they have vendors and where they take payments, correct? The payments are in here.
Yeah.
And over here on the wall is the poster advertising the movie that was filmed here on Holly Lane Christmas Tree Farm. There's a shop, and behind the curtain, we step back into the production area for wreaths, right?
Yep. There's usually 2 big machines back there going full speed ahead. Yep. And then the trees, when they come as babies, go in the fridge right there till we get them in the ground. We try not to keep them in there more than 24 hours, if that.
All right, thanks for joining me, everyone. I made 2 new friends today, and I would like to say, you know, part of being a successful Christmas tree farmer is not just growing good Christmas trees, but being good to the people that come out so they want to come back. And every time I visit a farm that's been successful, I meet people like Brian and Bridget who are, one, willing to just let a stranger come in and visit with them, but then give them time and smile and be pleasant and make them feel at home. So that is probably part of the success of Holly Lane Christmas Tree Farms here in Spokane, Washington. And as always, thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching including horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects are my passion. Hope to see you again soon. Be blessed, everyone.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Thank you.